Today we're gonna play a game and you must vote. What if you were building a 5-gun collection but you had an unlimited budget? What would you get?
We're at the Rock Island Auction House just a few weeks before their May premiere auction, which means this place is loaded to the gills with some of the coolest guns on the planet.
We will each build what we deem to be the ultimate 5-gun collection, and then we will present those picks to a panel of judges.
The winner will receive something much better than money: the love, respect, and yes, even the high fives from his fellow man.
You guys are in for a treat today because you are about to see the most 10 utterly cool guns you will probably ever see in one place. Let's freaking do this. Welcome to the show, everyone. We're feeling spicy, we're caffeinated up.
Yeah.
Ready to get after it today.
I'm
quite excited.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited. So we're here at Rock Island Auction. They have a premiere auction coming up soon. You will, of course, see this video after the premiere auction. But the premiere auctions are basically the grandest of the grand.
Absolutely.
You know, there's just no other way to put it.
In the world.
Yeah. This one coming up is, to my understanding, the largest machine gun sale ever.
Yes.
Which,
yes,
in
it is.
terms of things you want on your resume, that's it.
Top of the list.
That's one of the things you want on there. So the rules are going to be very straightforward today. We're each picking out what we deem to be the ultimate 5-gun collection. Very simple premise, right? Your collection could be really for whatever purpose you want. It could be an end of the world setup. It could be a collector set. It's your interpretation of the 5 guns from the upcoming premiere auction, and that's where you guys never seem to understand the rule set here. It's like, hey, this is about what is available within the rule set that we're playing in right now. My videographer just took his shirt off back there for some unknown reason, flashing skin and
easy fella, easy fella.
Yeah. So we're each gonna have 2 minutes each to present our picks, right, one at a time, you know, so my gun pick number 1, I'll have 2 minutes to present it to the judges who are behind the camera right now. They are judging by a set of criteria. We actually don't know how they're going to decide the winner on this. I imagine Nick has a clipboard. Crispy, nothing. He's running cameras. Yeah, he's back there. So they're ultimately going to vote on who did it best. Hopefully we don't have a split decision at the end. We'll have to figure out what to do with that if we get there. And it would be great if you guys could vote in the comments who you think did it best, which would probably be pretty obvious once you see all of the picks. So Eli, here's the deal. At Rock Island Auction, I'm sure they have a lot of great historical 1911s coming up. Let's say someone's like, I would like to get into 1911s. I don't know that I want to go like, you know, straight vintage. Is there any alternative?
I think there might be an alternative.
Okay.
Hey y'all, Eli with Alchemy Custom Weaponry. I've also got 1776 Duck, but that's not important. That's not why you'll want to hear about me right now. Alchemy Custom Weaponry, we build badass 1911s, but you might say, oh, well, I really want something that kind of feels old school. Guess what, baby? We do it old school. We build them old school. We make them look old school. Hey, if you want a double stack but still look old school, hey, we do that too. You want a 45 double stack? We got it. So, you know, if you want to get into the 1911 game and you're thinking, man, I don't like the cuts and the tricks and the, you know, the milling and the mauling and whatever else is out there on the trendy thing now.
You're the guy.
We got you covered.
Yeah. All right. So check that out, guys. Very exciting. Very exciting stuff. Okay, let's get on with gun number 1.
Round 1.
2 minutes on the clock. Starts now.
If I had to describe in a word my collection, Americana, it's going to make you feel patriotic. It's going to make you think, man, I want to kick down the door to Europe and just beat the hell out of the Kaiser. And this gun is an excellent one to start off with. What we've got here, Colt 1907. You never heard of it? You haven't because you're not cool. What the 1907 is, it is going to be the predecessor to the 1911. We all know, everybody says, oh, a 1911 would have been cheating. Okay, if I picked a 1911, I'd have won by default, but I decided to give you a little history. 1907, gonna be the gun that started to take shape. We've got the grip safety, the spur, all this good stuff, and guess what? 45 ACP. So if you need something to carry, you can carry this all day long. It's reliable, as shown in the trials, big caliber, and let's be honest, manual of arms, it's fairly modern. So if you want something collectible, you want something you can conceal carry, and you want something that just makes everyone go, man, what is that? It's gotta be the Colt 1907, and guess what? This particular one, serial number 9. Even with my limited Southern education, I've got 10 fingers and I got one left over. Okay, that's how early this gun is. You are looking at a piece of John Moses Browning history, a piece of America's history, and a piece of God wanting the American to have a .45 caliber handgun. Everything after the 1911 was wrong, but man, there are some things before the 1911 that were definitely right. Boom, baby.
With time to spare, 20 seconds to spare.
I don't even need the 20 seconds, baby.
No, you didn't actually.
Have time to procreate and still have some time left over. Maybe get some in and out. You know what I'm saying? Because unlike you probably play it out, foreplay, all this stuff. Listen, I'm thinking like my ancestors, baby. There might be a tiger watching me. Procreate, get out, shoot the tiger with the 1907. Whew.
I didn't hear any. I was just resetting the timer. What?
Yeah.
Round 1, yeah.
All right, Jake, here we go. And much like all of your girlfriends, you've got the pig. 2 minutes on the clock. Boom.
That was rude to some of my exes. Guys, I'm presenting to you not only the best 5-gun collection in history, but also a practical one, because what you just presented is cool. It's serial number 9, not practical. Practical, everyone. So here's the philosophy. You need a primary fighting rifle, okay? And that is what I would like to present to you. This is the M60. Why? Because 5.56 is for pussies. It's for pussies. You know, that's what 5.56 is for. Nah. You got a 308. Developed as a GPMG. That is a general purpose machine gun. Where's my clock at? 1:18, easy fucking day here. So where would I mount this? You can't mount your gun on anything. I can mount this on a vehicle. How about that Humvee back there? Yeah, I could put it on that. How about a boat? Yeah, I could put it on a boat. How about a bird? I could put this on a bird, okay? I'll buy a chopper with this and mount this mother, okay?
I thought you meant like a
here's the
cardinal.
deal. How would you hold this? Like John Rambo? Like John Rambo?
Fictional character?
No. John Rambo literally took on the entire country of Vietnam with this bad boy. He also did it in First Blood Part 1. Now, that was a little bit dark. He was shooting up a town. But First Blood Part 2, he shoots up all of the bad guys, which were, Russian and the Vietnams. So this is your first step to becoming the greatest war fighter of all time. Is it a little heavy? Not really. Not really. Pick it up. See what you think. Check that weight out.
Yeah. That's light for
Not too bad.
a man like myself.
But you know what? If it's the end of the world and you're like, yeah, can I get my biceps jacked with this? Absolutely. It doesn't really matter. That is your primary fighting rifle. That is gun number 1. With 3 seconds to spare.
God, 3 being the Dale Earnhardt number. But listen, here's the deal, man. It's as big as you.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do with that? Your little weak stature.
This.
I think it's gonna push you around. I think you're gonna go in it to like that Asian girl in Payback.
I don't have to
and you're
listen
gonna
to
think
this.
that you like it. You're gonna think that you're gonna be into that. And she's a swift kick right to the family jewels.
You're a bully.
You might be into that. I don't know. Now I'll be honest with you.
From Lucy Liu, prime
after watching
1990s? Yeah, I'll
Payback,
take that.
I might be into it.
All right, Nick, we've sent those 2 hooligans way down the hall so they can no longer hear us. You want to chat a little bit about what we just heard?
Yeah, let's do it. Because I have notes and I have a clipboard because I'm official here, and I am grading them on 5 different categories. I have overall cohesiveness, variety, sportsmanship, originality, and flaunt factor. So I'm going to talk to them.
Flaunt factor.
Yeah.
Is that a bigger category than historical relevance?
Yes.
More important for what we're doing here
More
today.
important for what we're doing because
Okay.
they're making a collection that you're going to want to have be recognizable to
Okay.
flaunt to people.
Yeah.
So it's something that you want people to be able to see. So these are all the categories. First one that they brought up, what'd you think?
So I want to start by saying no surprise that was a selection from Eli, but also I think it might be his strongest pick. I was just kind of talking with you privately earlier about how the market's gone full circle and we're back at the 1911 and, it's stayed relevant for so long. And so the whole time I'm like, plus Eli, plus Eli, plus Eli. I'm like, that's got to be it. That's got to be the winner. And then once Jake's pitch came out, because I saw him walking down, I'm like, okay, Eli won.
Yeah.
Hearing Jake's pitch, I don't quite know where I stand right now.
Well, you know, that's interesting because I was really excited for the M60 because of Rambo. It was pluses, pluses, pluses.
Okay.
But then Jake starts saying things about mounting it on vehicles. Also get a little excited. But
That was his best selling point.
fatal
for me.
flaw, though. Started talking about birds. And we all know birds aren't real. They're government drones. So I think he's a government drone now. And I'm actually biased quite heavily against him
Okay.
at this moment.
So I don't know that we are presenting our decision at this moment in the video,
Nope.
but later we'll have them on with us
Yes.
where we'll give our choice. But I think I know where I stand right now.
Yeah, as of round one, I know where I stand as well.
Sweet. Sounds
Yes.
good.
Round 2.
You sound like the female auctioneer.
What the fuck, man?
That's for Jake's girlfriends.
How'd you like that one? How'd you like that?
That's pretty good.
All right.
That's pretty good. 2 minutes on the clock, starts now.
When you think America, you think hot dogs, you think baseball, batter up, you think war crimes. We do it better than anyone else, okay? And this right here is a perfect example of that. You gotta think the people that came up with mustard gas, with flamethrowers, saw-back bayonets, they cried uncle when we put a freaking sword on the end of a 12-gauge shotgun? Yeah, and not only, okay, because listen, I could do this easy and pick a Winchester 1897. We all love that trench gun, but how about the most desirable combat shotgun of all time, the Remington UMC Model 10-A with a freaking bayonet? By God, not only are we talking collectible, not only are we talking investment, we're talking home defense, and you don't even have to fire a round. When you think, man, ammo's got expensive, by God, you don't even have to pay for ammunition, okay? You come around the hallway, you stack 2 of these on them, you pin them to the wall. It is the ultimate trench fighting handgun. Look at this handguard so you can really thrust. I know you're not used to that, you're used to someone thrusting on you, but you actually have the ability to thrust here, and it is devastating. It's one of the most epic firearms you could possibly own. And not only that, it's peak Americana. Listen, it's not like the Europeans didn't have access to shotguns, but we're the ones who thought, you know what? I think we should use shotguns. And man, if you're gonna have one, you can have this one, the most rare combat shotgun of all time. With, by the way, just make sure you understand, a freaking bayonet.
12 seconds to spare.
Ew.
It's pretty long for CQB. It's pretty long for CQB.
Listen, brother, at my house, we're used to things being long. All right?
Please.
Done.
Stupid.
You know what I'm about to do to your list, son? I'm about to take my coat off, okay? I'm about to do this right here. You ready? Ready? Woo!
Is that a wrestling move?
Dos minutos. Bet you didn't know I knew Spanish. On the clock, you ready? I'm getting ready to start it. And start.
Okay, everyone. If your primary fighting rifle, let's just say hypothetically you ran out of ammo or you were going to have to hike around your M60, at a certain point it could become cumbersome, right? Or if your choppa that has it on it goes down or something like that and you need to move to your backup, sort of your like second tier fighting rifle, I present to you the Ruger AC 556. Okay. Now here's the thing. You know that this is a banger. You know this is a banger. You'll never admit it. That's fine, right? You're loaded up on bang right now, but you'll never admit that this is a... Say it with me.
Yeah. No.
Banger.
But here's the thing is, it doesn't really go bang very much without a magazine.
No, this one doesn't come with a mag. You can get mags, no problem. Here's the deal. You
No
can shoot
problem?
this. You can
No
shoot-
problem?
Yeah, no problem.
Go ahead,
Absolutely no
tell
problem.
the viewers at home how much a magazine for that is.
30, in the neighborhood of 30. Yeah.
For a 30 round
Here's
mag?
the deal. Shoot this with the stock folded because it doesn't have a buffer tube, right? This is absolutely money. It has one of the best mechanical sounds of a gun in the world. Oh! Does noise not matter anymore? That is a really nice noise right there. Absolutely reliable, and also has, I'm gonna tell you something you didn't know, has one of the few machine gun kills legally by a
I literally told you that.
No. Shut your mouth. So there was a HK employee that got into a shootout
What
in a
is
parking
happening
lot.
right
He got
now?
into a shooting with it was like basically a motorcycle gang pursuing
I'm
him,
the one
and
that
he
told you
smoked
that.
them with this in the parking lot of HK. Absolutely disgusting. Aesthetically, one of the coolest guns of all time. I might also bring in John Travolta from Broken Arrow, which is the only notable use of the AC 5.56K in a film down in the tunnels. It's absolutely amazing, right? Also used in Face Off, Hard Rain, A-Team, anyone? See, you don't know about the A-Team, do you?
Oh, I know all about the AT. Oh, you're out of, well, let's put this up and you're done here.
That's a good one. Oh, you guys have to talk, don't you?
Yep.
We gotta elaborate.
When Eli first walked up with a shotgun, I immediately was looking from the distance, and the wood on the top threw me off because
Okay.
I'm thinking he was going to pick a Winchester 1897,
Yeah, of course.
the trench gun. But the fact that he didn't, he went with the Remington. I give him props for that because that is originality. I like the
Okay.
originality, so there's
You like
props
the
there.
originality.
And the 5.56K, the AC 5.56K, Jake had me with the ASMR of that
Okay.
action.
Yeah,
So
that excited me.
I love M14 actions, but he stored a lot. He lost me because, in typical Jake fashion, he had to mention HK.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't an HK employee, yes, but he had to give the obligatory HK reference. Lost it for me.
Well, that reference originated from Eli.
It
So-
did, true, but it came out of Jake's
Okay.
mouth.
Well, and I was personally excited that, some of the HK fans were saved that day.
Okay,
So,
yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. An HK employee was saved that day, so that's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, and to reflect a little bit on Eli's choice, as a filmmaker, I haven't had a bayonet with anything we've done, so that excited me. It's different, it's fresh. Originality was one that you were betting on, so I originally, bayonet alone was a real cool factor for me.
Yep.
And then I heard shotgun, I was like, not so much, So given that we're building a collection for me, I think that I know my choice on this one, but it also has to be influenced from my choice on the previous round. too.
Yes,
So
yes.
if I'm building my collection, it's not necessarily just that one person won over the other here. It's that
everything
it's
together.
everything together. So if I think
Well,
that I
well-
gotta go full auto on that one, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll see how they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on.
So I'm gonna tell you something you didn't know. And I was like, okay, cool. It's gonna be some obscure fucking pop culture reference.
It's a story that you told it in Pittsburgh. It's on camera.
That's the funnier part, too. Round 3.
Start the clock and begin.
Yeah, okay, so Chicago typewriter, the Tommy gun, the Thompson submachine gun, and oh yeah, the most iconic submachine gun of all time, Colt's model 1921 Thompson submachine gun chambered in 45 ACP. It's literally an icon of the Roaring 20s. It is the gun that caused the Prohibition to bleed in this particular one, because y'all know I'm not gonna bring you just a regular old 1921 Colt Thompson, Toledo Police Department. Now you might be thinking Toledo, Ohio? Toledo, Ohio, by the way, one of the hotbeds for gangster activity in the 20s. Lots of gangster wars between Chicago's, you might have heard of them, the Purple Gang, going into Toledo as a safe haven. This is a gun that mowed down gangsters. And guess what? You know what? Sometimes I'm on their side, sometimes on the side of the law. This time, baby, on the side of the law. It is the most iconic submachine gun of all time that's undisputable, okay? Undisputable. It was made for the trenches of the First World War. Roaring 20s basically because of this gun. It served in World War II, Vietnam. And guess what, baby? You better believe if you need something to conceal carry, oh gosh, oh, little winter concealed carryist. I mean, just imagine a rapscallion says, hey, give me your wallet. And I'm
Hey,
like,
man.
hey, give me your booze, baby. It's hot. You want a 20-round stick? Got it. 30-round stick? Got it. 50-round drum? Oh, yeah. And we cannot forget about the 100-round drum. 100 rounds of 45 ACP. Buddy, that's enough firepower to take over a third world country.
I got a belt fit.
And guess what? Guess what, baby? It just looks cool. Classic Americana. Can't be beat.
Unless you've got an M60. So,
Oh, yeah, well, guess what? More people know about the Thompson than the M60.
John Rambo. John Rambo.
John Dillinger. You're talking about a fictional character versus a real man, a real person.
Who's a warfighter?
Sylvester Stallone? What kind of name is that?
Italian.
Yeah, you're right. It is an Italian name. Yeah.
Okay. Simple fact.
All right. Well, it showed me. Man, can you just imagine you get out of your Ford and you're just like,
You're getting carjacked, and that's what you come out with.
rolling on the river. I clean a lot of plates in Memphis. You know I bust a lot of
It's gonna take a long time.
You ready? What's it like, your whole personality basically being pop culture? It's 2 minutes to tell me why the worst shotgun ever is
Stop.
a part of that. All right, you ready? Okay, go.
Okay, here we go. If you're gonna have look, if you're gonna have a 5-gun collection, you gotta have a shotgun, right? Agreed?
Yeah, I had a shotgun. I had the coolest shotgun ever. in mine.
Same, except better, right? Because the Spaz 12, known to be a fantastic firearm, okay? Known to be a
What's
fantastic
Spaz
firearm.
stand for?
Frankie made this.
What's
okay?
Spaz
It's
stand for?
irrelevant. We don't have time for all of that.
Okay.
Here's the reason I put a shotgun in my collection, because I want variety of ammo. I want to be able to run buckshot, birdshot,
Okay.
slugs. But the beauty of the Spaz 12 is because it's both a pump and an auto, the pump really exists so I can run some non-traditional rounds that won't cycle it. Like what? Oh, a beanbag.
Oh, how about you actually show me how you convert
Some
it?
tear gas.
Show me how you make it do
This
different
one
things.
has the folding stock
No.
because this one is
You said
epically
pump and semi.
cool.
Show me how you go to pump or semi.
Here's the thing, guys. This is a fairly complex system, and we don't have time for that. But I'll tell you what we do have time for. I want you to listen to something, okay? What is that?
Yeah.
What's that?
I mean, I know the reference, but that's not good. Yeah. Didn't he get smoked, by the way, by
Where
a
is
freaking
the
lizard?
raptor? Where is the velociraptor in here?
It wasn't a
Is it
raptor.
in the auction hall?
It wasn't a raptor.
We don't really know.
It wasn't a raptor.
It was a velociraptor, right?
wasn't.
It had that big old middle claw, right? That just, and he had this thing, right? Clever girl. Now that raptor got the jump on him because that guy was British and he was
that
stupid,
guy,
right?
yeah.
Okay, he
Yeah,
had the
you're
right
right.
gun.
It was a
He had
raptor.
the wrong
I'm sorry.
tactics. It was a velociraptor.
It
You
was.
don't
You're
know
right.
anything about it.
If I'm wrong about one thing in this section, it's that.
Also, Terminator, right? The OG, not Terminator 2, which was superior, of course, but the original Terminator, right? In the gun shop, also used by Trinity in the Matrix lobby shootout, one of the best shootouts of all time. Guys, the Spaz 12, and this one doesn't have the fixed stock. Of course, it has the folder.
Cool. Great job. Great job, buddy. You still didn't show me how to work this. I'm going to let you have more time.
It's not a
Show
5-minute demo.
Show me how to work the semi-auto.
It's not a 5-minute demo. This isn't meant to be a tactics class.
It's because you can't do any tactics with it. You don't know how to use it.
Listen, here's the deal. Was I wrong about some things in that last one? Yeah, I was. What was I wrong about? I forgot it was a velociraptor. Technically, though, Jurassic Park's velociraptors are anatomically inaccurate, so, it kind of shakes out anyways. But what I wasn't wrong about is he has no clue how to work that gun. Oh, hey, you're back there. Sorry, I was just making sure I was doing a correction. I was saying I was wrong for saying it wasn't a velociraptor.
It was a velociraptor.
I was wrong.
All right, Crispinator, what you got?
Nick, tell me this. Do you watch a lot of our videos?
Yes.
Most of them?
Yes.
So there was a video, this is a reference, a 1911 Syndicate reference, none of that pop culture stuff, but there was a video where Chris had a shotgun. And so, if you'll remember from that video, he was talking about dolphin training. We'll roll the clip now.
I don't know if you know this about dolphin training, but they're trained in different ways. One is with bird shot. That's how you get them to do like tricks and stuff, because it's enough of a zing to not kill them, but to get them to do what you want.
Okay.
Also, this sound, they know it's training time. Okay? So we're doing several different things. They get a physical response to training as well as an audible. And we all know they hear real well.
Okay.
You guys are ruining this for me.
I can see that.
Moving on. Sometimes when they really act out, you gotta jump up a notch. That's what we know.
Oh, no.
Buckshot's for.
So Jake comes out here and he's making noises. And my mind didn't go to velociraptor. It went to dolphin. And I was like, his whole argument melted down. Luckily, he wasn't talking about dolphin training in this
Yes.
instance. Tell us what he was talking about.
Well, he was talking about the Spaz, which is arguably not a good gun. Like, it is very complicated. Jake doesn't know how to use it.
He doesn't.
And we're very clear on this.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, okay? This was going to be a slam dunk for Eli with the Thompson versus the Spaz.
Easily.
Easily, until he misidentified velociraptors. That's a big deal.
Nothing about dinosaurs.
That is, well, he didn't know that it was a velociraptor that killed that British dude that had the Spaz. So the Spaz kills the British dude, negative on the Spaz. But then Eli didn't know that it was a velociraptor. Like, is it anything to do with the gun? No, but it taints how I look at Eli. It really does.
Yeah. I mean, tell me this. If you had to choose to go to Jurassic World with that shotgun or the Roaring 20s in Chicago with a Thompson, which
20s
experience
with a
are you going to
Thompson.
want to live?
Hands down,
Easily.
because if you go to Jurassic Park, you're dying.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, and I'm just interested in the Roaring 20s.
Ditto.
That sounds fun. So.
Yeah.
Round 4.
Begin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got you your shotgun, I've got you your submachine gun, I've got you your handgun. Now you need a rifle, and you know what rifle you need? The BAR, Browning Automatic Rifle, 30-06. You just want to talk about firepower with your little 308, 30-06. Oh, by the way, how many 308s have won World Wars? None. 2 World Wars. By the way, these guns, not only is this iconic from the World War history, gangster history, okay? Gangster history. Okay, you could just as easily mow down a trench of Germans as you could knock off your local bank with one of these bad boys right here. We're talking about one of the most powerful firearms in its time. Detachable box magazine, 20 rounds. Very, by the way, manageable in firepower. Let's say you want to go fast, you can. You want to go slow, you can. Fully automatic 30-06. It's what God wants Americans to use. Not only that, one of the sexiest automatic rifles of all time. Yeah, you can throw you got the pig with all the junk on it, it's heavy. Guess what, actually, pretty lightweight. You can run around with it, you know, you can storm a trench, you can storm a bank, you can storm Okinawa if you wanted to. Guess what, this is the gun that you are born to die with as an American, okay? Just an epic piece of our history. By the way, let's not forget, who came up with this? John Moses? Okay, parted the Red Sea, okay? John Moses Browning, that's right. John Moses Browning designed firearm, just like every great firearm should be. Sexy. Oh my God, I just need to storm a trench right now.
You're just trying to come up with stuff to say at this point.
I got extra time because the BAR speaks for itself. I could have literally just laid this thing up, okay, on the table, and guess what? That would have won. That's all it needs. The BAR needs no introduction.
This is filler. This is just filler.
Okay. You know,
See how much extra time there was there?
Yeah.
There's not that much to talk about.
because you don't need to. This is the greatest automatic rifle of all time.
I don't know. You don't seem confident.
I seem the most confident. Actually.
Yeah,
Hey, by the way, suggesting people rob banks, illegal. Have I suggested anything illegal today?
I actually gave him a plus for that.
Well, honestly, Jake, let's be honest.
What?
You should be illegal.
That was the best part of the pitch, because I mean everyone knows that it mowed down Germans.
Well,
but,
I agree. That's
But
why I brought it up.
bank robbing in the 20s. Not to say that you should do it, but kind of cool.
Well, I totally agree. I need to know when the clock starts.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, because it's on the clock.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boy and girl, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. The clock starts now.
Okay, we know you got to have a submachine gun within this 5-gun collection. Obvious, shotgun, rifle, yada, 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 pistol, blah, blah, blah. You got to have a subgun. Why wouldn't you want the most famous and the objectively best subgun of all time? He's gonna go look at 10-pound cannons. Like he asked girls about he asked girls about Napoleonic ships. Okay, this is not a man you should be listening to for firearms advice.
You come to this. You come to this channel, 1911
This A3
Syndicate. What do you expect to see? HKs? Pfft, I think you deserve. The people deserve to change your name to HK Syndicate.
Listen, son, this is a transferable.
Have you seen me tout a German product?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the people. Let's see,
judges,
are they
what if
0
I
and
can't
2?
talk? Yeah, what if
Okay.
I can't
No, just
talk
go
to
ahead. Go
judges?
ahead. I'm all over
What if
here.
I'm not allowed to
There
speak?
you go.
Don't I automatically win the round?
No.
Because this is a transferable MP5 burst trigger pack, which means I've got safe, I've got semi, I've got 3-round burst, and I've got full. You know what I'm saying though? Like, yeah, we do, right? So I've got 4 different positions on that selector switch. A3 stock, because that is the superior stock. Like, this is the classic setup. It has done everything. Used by every department, every military. All of the good guys use this. Also used to save, a Christmas party at Nakatomi Tower, right? Was it not used in a heroic fashion by a man with no shoes, with no socks, getting his feet cut up to save his wife with a struggling marriage? Do you not like marriage? What's the problem?
I'm closer to marriage than you are, buddy.
Don't worry about it. You know what? When I get married, it's gonna be great. And I'm gonna save Holly Gennaro just like Bruce McClane did. Guys, this is the ultimate
Look at
full
this dog
auto
pic.
submachine gun. That dog is stupid. Do you own it? I bet you do. I'm done.
Here's a little dog pic. How cool is that?
Yeah, timer, we hear you.
No one cares about the MP5. You talked about it so much.
The funny thing is you've already admitted that you want one, okay?
When?
In private conversations
Doesn't
we've
count.
had. Because you know what he has,
Doesn't
everyone?
count.
You know why he wants one? Because he's got a clone. He's got a knockoff when HK actually sells these in the US. That's kind of like knowing that there's a bunch of hot girls out there and you decide you're gonna date a dude. That's like voluntarily going gay when you're like, women are all over the place. And you're like, I'm gonna get Bruno. That's basically what you did with your MP5 choice. You went full.
But seriously, that was a cute dog, wasn't it? Like, look at that. Come on now. MP5 or that dog? Come on. I want to pet that dog. You know what I mean?
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
All right, Crispaholic.
Crispaholic, that's a new one. All right, hit me with it.
Who the fuck is Bruce McClane? That's who I want to know. That's the question I want to know. I don't know if you caught this, but Jake, he was interrupted by Eli. Was that rude? Yes. Okay, that was definitely rude.
He even said he wasn't going to do that today.
He even said he wasn't. Sportsmanship is a category
That's true.
in my grading here. However, Jake lost me when instead of saying Bruce Willis or John McClane, he made it Bruce McClane.
He mixed it up.
He mixed it up. So
Too much pop culture. So
that's
much
too,
pop culture,
that's too much
he
pop.
can't keep the shit straight.
It's too much pop culture. So he was very cohesive and then lost me. But I will say, being pro marriage and Die Hard, that really tugged at my soul. But here's the thing.
You're the only one here that's married.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
BAR. You don't need to say anything else.
What it says to me is I need to research more about it.
Yeah.
I think this conversation prompted the fact that I need to learn more about the BAR.
Oh yes.
Because I know nothing.
Well, when you learn about it, your britches will get a
Opinion
little
will
tight.
change.
Yes.
Because right now I'm like, whew, you know what I have at home?
MP5.
I don't have an MP5. I have an
SP5,
SP5. But you know why?
yes.
Because everyone wants an MP5.
Yes, it's predictable.
And everyone who shoots it, they're like, yeah,
It's a great gun.
I'm getting one.
It's a great gun. It's a great
love
gun.
it.
But I think we are diverging. I can feel a divergence in our picks here.
Little bit.
We'll see what number 5 is. But this is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
I hope it's a handgun. Jake does not have a handgun yet.
Oh, if he does not do a handgun, that's gonna be a problem.
Right?
Interesting.
So I know what he had selected for his 5th, but I also feel like that there's like some sort of switcheroo coming because he's seen the awesomeness of what I've brought to the table here.
Oh Lord.
Freaking
Look at that
Natalia.
walk.
Jake loves that damn Natalia wearing buckled jeans. Oh, hey, how are you doing? You ready? You ready to get this going?
We're gonna do that, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah. Round 5. Okay,
I think for your pitch, you have to hold the gun the whole time.
Well, that's only fair, actually.
I mean, if you're going to
I
love
held
that.
the M60 the whole
well,
time.
no, you didn't.
No, you
had
didn't. You had it
sitting
on the
down.
table.
I was
I'm
holding
gonna
it
take
up.
this off, okay? So I don't scratch. This is a perfectly restored gun that I do not want to
Your
damage.
pitch hasn't started yet.
Oh no, yeah, but I mean that ain't. Listen, this is
There's plenty to say.
all right. Yeah, I will hold it. I will hold this baby. We'll cradle this. Okay.
We ready?
How about that
This is
timer?
heavy.
What?
Hit me with the timer.
Time. 2 minutes. Begin.
Okay, patriotism. Okay, I would like to think the viewers out there are patriotic.
Yeah.
And let me show you one of the most patriotic guns you could possibly own. Water-cooled 1917 Browning machine gun, 30-06. It is an icon of both the First and, by the way, Second World War. And let's talk about the Second World War. You heard of John Basilone? I don't want to look at you too much, but you ever heard of John Basilone?
I have.
Yeah,
Earlier today.
Medal of Honor winner?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. You know what he used to keep an entire regiment of Japanese at bay?
MP5?
No, he picked this beast up and mowed them down on Guadalcanal, baby. Won the Medal of freaking Honor.
It's a good medal.
Won the Medal of freaking Honor, okay? This is a gun that screams patriotism. It is a gun that's actually pretty freaking heavy. By the way, did you know he had second-degree burns because the water jacket overheated on his arm? Did you know that? Did you know that?
That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
bet you didn't, because you don't care about America. That's what it comes down to. Look at all your guns you pick. Very few actually American icons like this right here. Marines used this, okay? John Basilone used this. It is extremely heavy, and I would like my 2 minutes to be up, but they're not, okay?
30 seconds.
So
At some point, you could say the name.
Whose name?
The gun.
I did.
Oh,
at
you
the very
did?
beginning.
Oh, that was my bad.
And you've taken now 10 seconds.
I'm helping you out.
It's okay. It is, by the way, just in case you missed it, 1917 Browning water-cooled machine gun. It is, my arm is falling asleep a little bit.
You should carry that more. It might help you, we'll
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you talk
trim-
about the
trim
pig
up.
giving you a workout, boy. Right now, look at the freaking pump. Look at the freaking, get a hold of that, right there. Get a hold of that. Yeah.
It's mushy.
Yeah, solid, baby. I'm putting that down. I'm done.
Yeah, you got it right there.
I started sweating a little bit, actually. Dude, pick that up. A man hip-fired that gun.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty. You gotta be a tough son of a bitch.
There's a statue of John Basilone
Yeah,
with this gun.
it's cool.
And I was wanting to say a lot more, but I'm going to be honest with you.
Tired.
I started kind of fading a little bit there.
Yeah, your brow is
It's a little sweaty.
very damp.
It's a
very
little sweaty,
damp.
yeah. But guess what?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, everybody. We're going to start now. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Logic would tell you that the fifth and final gun in my collection, which has been loaded with, machine guns because they're awesome, a SPAS 12, Logic would tell you, oh, cool, what are you going to carry on a day-to-day basis in case you wind up in an encounter? Well, you would get a pistol, right? You would get like a revolver, you get a 1911, or you get an M79 motherfucking grenade launcher. Oh! There's something, like the power that hits your body. It's like the nerds that watch like Thor and shit. It's like he gets his hammer. This is like that for the American man. Of course, you guys like the military. You support
Yes.
the troops.
Yeah,
You support
yeah,
the troops.
absolutely.
Right. Okay, cool. So they use this for quite a while, going back to Vietnam. So if you like the military things, an M79 Blooper would be a pretty obvious choice, right? Because I don't think a pistol is what you need. What I think you need is an escalation of force. I present to you escalation
Let me
of
ask you a
force.
question, though.
Ask a question.
Ammunition. How am I going to get ammo for this?
Brother, do you think, brother, like when you say that, you'd be like, brother, like you'd say
Just
something
answer
like
the
that,
question.
right?
Clock's ticking. How do I get ammo for that?
I will get it however I damn well please. I will knock off a bank or something like that to go get funds, to go get them on the black market. That's what I will do. But I want to take you to a trip to the future, because we're talking about the past. I want to take you to the future, where Cyberdyne Systems, also known as ChatGPT, has taken over. And you know what? They've turned on us. And guess what's coming after you? Guess what's coming after you, big boy, that can't run very far? A T-1000. And they don't have cardio problems. They don't have cardio problems.
Wow.
So guess what took down the T-1000?
That is absolutely absurd.
That is what takes
That
down
is
a
absurd.
T-1000.
Listen,
He used his final one. He
Kate
saved
doesn't-
Sarah and John Connor.
you're out. You're out of time, by the way.
The 1917 was a surprising, not surprising pick, because there's Ma Deuces here, there's 1919s, there's so many crew served machine guns. I'm glad somebody finally grabbed one, so that definitely piqued my interest. However, Eli did lose me a little bit because he was curling it, which is a well-known bicep exercise. And what did he have Jake touch? His pec.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
like
I was confused by that.
that's anatomically incorrect. Like he should be knowing this working out. So he kind of hurt himself there. M79, very, very cool. But he did not know who Basilone was, John Basilone. So that was a problem. But he brought it back with the Vietnam reference because many people don't like the Vietnam War because we didn't technically win that war, if you say, but there were a lot of badass dudes that went there. So this is tough, but I have a final decision.
Yeah.
Do you have a final decision?
Well, if I had to pick out of the two, it's like living in the desert. It's water cooled. We don't have a lot of water.
Well, that's
and
true.
If just
urine works too.
It does it.
Yes.
From experience. Can
No,
you
not from
imagine the
experience.
smell? Anyways,
Yeah.
I just have to say that grenade launcher is totally unique from everything else we've seen today. That is wildly out there. Now, do I agree that it should be your primary fighting gun? Probably not. Do I want one in the passenger seat of the 4Runner?
I do like
For sure.
escalation of force, but do you have a winner out of the whole collection? All right, so
A lot of notes.
I have a lot of notes. I have many pages of notes because this I wanted to take seriously. This is a serious topic,
Right.
And I use some science. Okay, and there's check marks and see. So some of them were erased at certain points. So the 5 categories that I graded y'all on the overall collection were cohesiveness, variety, sportsmanship. I wanted to see how nice y'all were to each other and treated y'all, each other like you loved each other, and that went out the door.
Which Eli said he was going to be focused on, but did it pan out?
It sort of did, but it didn't. Originality and the flaunt factor, which is if you showed off this entire collection, which one's the most badass collection? So when it comes down to cohesiveness, Jake, you really did keep it all together with all the pop culture references.
Sure.
So while I don't think the Spaz is a good gun at all, and the MP5 was predictable, it was a cohesive collection. You were almost there. You were almost there in cohesiveness because you did have one non-Browning related design in the Remington UMC. So otherwise, you were very, very close.
By the way, designed by John Pedersen, who John Browning said
This
was the
isn't
greatest
about
firearm
converting
No,
designer
it's too
ever.
late.
I'm
The
just
check mark is already in
there
Jake's category.
There is
so Jake,
cohesiveness there,
yes, but you were so close. He just really stuck with it. Variety, you had a good variety, and Jake, you didn't have the check mark because you didn't have a pistol. However, when you brought out the M79, the variety went way up.
The other way.
The other way. So Jake is leading 2 check marks to 0 check marks, Eli. Sorry to tell you that. In sportsmanship, this one went back and forth quite a bit. Referencing his mother quite a bit, was putting it in Jake's side, but Jake, you put it over the top by referencing him just being a little bit of a beefier kid. Okay.
I was just talking about his cardio.
Yeah, well, you're talking
Vascular.
about
You pointed at my stomach,
Yeah, you
man,
pointed at his
on
stomach, like,
camera.
I don't think I pointed at it.
Yes, you did. You referenced to my
go back
stomach.
to the tape, and I was like, you know what? My feelings are hurt because I'm not the most fit person either. So I went with Eli in sportsmanship. Originality, Eli. Sorry. Like that's an original collection. So now, just so you guys know, it's 2 check marks to 2 check marks. The final one is the flaunt factor.
I mean, come on.
You would think that the pop culture references would get you.
It's a bunch of machine guns.
But it's
And a
too
grenade
many
launcher.
machine guns.
With a grenade launcher.
It's too. I've never said this before, but it's too many machine guns. The flaunt factor goes to Eli because of just the fact that some of these weapons are actually used in war, winning by America, by Americans. So Eli is my choice.
So judge
3-2.
number 1 picks Eli.
Yep.
That puts judge number 2 in a tricky position, right? It all comes down to this. So
Given that he's also employed by the 1911 Syndicate.
is he? Oh, me. I thought you were talking about Eli. Because
judge
where I
number
wanted
2.
to start was by saying Alchemy is very lucky to have Eli as their sales guy.
Yeah.
Because the whole time, I think that Eli was winning my heart. Like I was excited, I was smiling, I was like, man, I wanted to hear all about it.
It's not looking good for you, Jake.
But I also have to admit, if I went with Eli's collection, I would be ridiculed in the comments and called a FUD. And maybe, he's already the chief FUD officer, the CFO of the 1911 Syndicate, and I'm just the camera guy. So I don't think that there's room for 2 FUDs. And I think at the end of the day, I have to go the practicality route on this one. And so with that, Jake wins.
Oh,
Well, that means it's a tie.
this is
but I have to pick Jake on
unexpected.
this.
It is 1-1, and you only pick 2 judges. So, I think the only fair thing to do is sudden death.
Explain.
Okay, so sudden death would be you each have 20, or not 20, you have 2 minutes to go find a 1-to-1 gun off, okay? And you only get 1 minute to explain it, and whoever wins that is the winner. That's how we'll do sudden death.
So a gun to win you over.
You gotta go pick a gun. You have 2 minutes to go pick a gun.
And you cannot pick a backup because each of you selected a
one.
backup on the way here.
It
just in
can't be
case.
anything that's on the list already.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
So you cannot pick from what's on the rack.
Oh, wow.
Because there are extra guns that each of them
Holy
selected
cow.
Yeah.
in case there was an
Well,
availability
yeah, I
issue.
knew what I was going to get.
No,
Oh, that's jacked up.
this cannot be any of the ones that you already
That's
put.
jacked
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's true. Okay.
All right, sudden death. You have 2 minutes starting now.
So, hey, real quick. All those are in the auction, correct? Most? Most. Let's go look. See, here's the thing. Gatling gun. Classic American. Teddy Roosevelt's company going up San Juan Hill, supported by him. There's so many. He's going to go, he just, he's going to try to find some stupid pop culture thing.
What's the strategy? Where are we starting?
Pistol. That's the only thing I lacked in variety. 1877 Lightning. That's not a bad choice. Single.
I still got time to file my taxes.
Do you understand the pressure that I'm in right now? I get a single action army. I remind people that I am American at my core. Big flints. What is that? Oh, yes. You get a time check? I mean, for God's sakes.
I don't have a clock.
Oh, hang on. Yes. 1903.
Oh, why are you filming me?
Americana.
Well,
We need
he
a
can
single
keep
action
cutting
army.
back,
Oh, okay.
back to
Single
you.
action army.
The most stressed your body language has ever been on this show.
Where's that single action army at? Where's this son of a bitch pistol that I just found? What, did someone take it?
45 seconds left.
There it is. Come on, be on.
45 seconds.
Let's get a cold letter too. Yes. 4 3/4, 45 long Colt. Yes. Remind people of America's superiority.
Comes with the what, holster?
With the leather,
Leather.
with the holster and the Colt letter. I can't really see everything that's on this. It was shipped to Oklahoma in 1925, so I think that would make this a Gen 2. Man, this is Eli's wheelhouse. I am really not made for this. There's no modern guns in here. Yes, this is it.
2, 1, time.
Yep.
His firearm is in his possession.
Okay, hang on. Let me give you your 1 minute pitch.
1 minute pitch.
Oh yeah, this is sudden death.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Gotta
That's what I was hoping for,
Gotta
actually.
summarize that Wikipedia page there,
3,
don't you?
2, 1, go.
I need to remind you guys, yes, the, foreign guns and everything. You know what you need to be reminded of? America's greatness and how we won the West. I didn't have a pistol. That gave me a lack of variety and a little bit of criticism for being foreign or whatever. This won the West. It comes with a holster, a Colt letter from the factory. Do you know about the Colt archives? Yeah, you can get a Colt letter. And this shipped in 1925, right? Part of a 14-gun lot that went to Oklahoma. Really nice, 4 3/4 inch, which is, let's be honest, the best barrel length. In 45, long Colt. I feel like long Colt is something you would do. And this really, at the end of the day, adds a pistol, lets you guys know
Super powerful, right? Like
American.
You're really focused on the power of that, right?
What are you talking about?
Like 45 Colt, it's powerful.
It's not about power. It's about showing people the greatness of our pistols as Americans. That's what I give you.
Okay.
Boom.
Not too shabby.
Yep.
Does raise the question, how well does it fit with the rest of his collection? Seems
that's-
like we took a left turn here.
That's the first thing that I thought as well. Let me see where. I got get
There's
you
no
up
foreign
there.
pistols in here, boys.
Okay.
Of my era of what I'm playing
Yeah.
in. There's no options.
Yeah. He took a change, and now he has gone from pop culture. Well, pop culture reference.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, every cowboy
Eastwood
movie.
Wayne? Like,
yeah.
do I need to go down the list here?
Yep. Okay. All right.
Cool.
I can
really
see it.
are on a revolver kick, aren't you?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's move on.
Well, let's go walk over to my gun, shall we?
Sure.
You see, I would normally want to bring it over to you, you know?
Hang on, you can't just start. Is this starting your clock?
No.
Because you're
no.
starting to talk.
Nope. No talking here.
I
Not
should have
about my
got
gun. America, yes. Jake, the HK Syndicate's
Man,
going to
are
talk
we
to you about
starting to
America.
pitch?
No, I'm not. I'm just
He's
kind of
selling.
I'm not selling. But what we do is we need to walk over to the table. Actually, we're going to walk. I got it on the table. Actually, wait, no. Whoa, a little detour here. A little detour. Right here.
Okay. And go.
1883 Colts manufacturing Gatling gun, 4570. It's got 2 sets of sights. Why would you need 2 sets of sights? Let me tell you why. Because you're either shooting a 405 grain bullet or a 500 grain bullet as fast as you can crank this thing off. Let me tell you right now, you talking about win the West? Won the West.
No.
And also, by the way, these were used, not necessarily this one, but the Gatling gun was used to support Teddy Roosevelt going up San Juan Hill. Early Gatling artillery pieces. So when I think about America, I think about firepower, I think about history class. Colts manufacturing. You did a good job with Colts, but you came up a little short. Oh, we got an extra spare magazine, by the way. Yeah, I think I'm good here.
How you gonna move it?
With my horse and buggy, of course. What is that kind of question is that? Hook it up to my Galaxy.
So is this a part of the atmosphere here at Rock Island Auction, or are all of these cannons, including this, for
Yeah,
sale?
of course you can buy a cannon. It's the most ridiculous thing that you couldn't buy a cannon. Can't buy a Gatling gun. You know, you walk into a gun store, you can't buy a cannon and a Gatling gun. Is that gun store even worth going to?
But
And,
it is
you know,
up for auction here.
It is, absolutely. And like I said,
He's still.
His time's up.
oh, whoa, I
clock
was
is
just
done.
prompted. I was just answering a judge's question here.
I just had questions about
Yeah,
Rock Island
absolutely,
Auction.
absolutely. Oh, man, look at that script.
wait,
I'm
wait,
sorry,
wait.
I'm sorry. Whoa, I'm
We
sorry.
moved on after I was done.
Yeah, well, because
Keep this in the sportsmanship category, judges.
all I'm doing is answering the question. You've got the Colt Single Action Army. I will admit, great gun. The 1883 Colts Gatling gun in 4570. By God, 500 grain bullet. Look at that.
All right, gentlemen, you made very compelling picks, and honestly, it's actually it's a tie for me right now, because the Gatling gun obviously fits in very well with your collection, and it's very on brand.
Yep.
I wasn't with you when you picked the revolver, the Single Action Army, because it wasn't fitting in until you talked about the pop culture references. Of
course.
So here's the deal, you're at a tie. But Jake, you get to determine if you're the winner of this by answering one question. For me, can you name one movie with a Single Action Army in it?
True Grit.
Okay, that's it. Jake wins, and that's good. So, Jake won.
Yeah, but
for me,
Crispy still
for me,
has to.
for me.
That is
for you?
absurd.
He
Of course,
won?
of course
Yeah.
you know. Of course you know.
Well, I'm hung up on your first comment about how it doesn't fit into his collection.
It does now.
It absolutely
It does
You know,
now.
Are we selecting the winner of this round, or
No,
are we
this is it.
picking a selection?
This is the
No, I
whole
know,
collection.
but I was already leaning on the fence earlier today, and honestly, I kind of wanted to pick Eli's collection from the beginning. So
Son of a bitch.
now if we're adding a pistol and a Gatling gun,
Oh,
I'd be
God.
crazy not to pick Eli's collection. At the moment.
shit.
Why?
Here we
Where are
go.
you going to put it? You live in an apartment.
I do not live in an apartment.
It's
But
a
there's
nice-
Hook that up
no,
to the
there's
Forerunner.
nowhere to put it. But if I got Gatling gunny
Also,
money,
by the way,
Gatling gun money, I got a nice crib
pop
to put
culture
with it.
reference for you. Rooster Cogburn uses a Gatling gun.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, but that's not part of.
No, it isn't. But I just
That's-
wanted to
that's
say.
not
I
part
just
of
wanted to
your
say it because
collection.
I like
you
Rooster
like-
Cogburn.
Yes,
I
you
really
just like to
thought
say.
you were going to stick with Eli on this.
I guess-
No.
Let's
So-
do.
so
let's
how's
do
the
one.
episode
Let's do
end?
one more round.
No,
Thursday,
you know
I'll
what?
have
It's a
time
tie.
for it.
It's a tie.
We don't have the time for it.
You know what? And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen,
No, there
it's
has
a tie.
to be a winner.
This is not gamed. I have to
Is-
pick Jake
so
now.
Crispy's voting for Eli?
Yeah.
Hung jury.
We have a hung jury?
There's a Thompson, man.
And a Gatling gun.
And a Gatling gun.
And a BAR.
You've shot some of the guns that I presented to you. You know
Yeah,
their greatness.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're predictable. They're boring. Yeah. A BAR, Thompson, Gatling gun.
You I'm sorry, but Jake pulled together
A cohesive thought.
a cohesive thought. His is cohesive, but yours is surprisingly cohesive.
Yes.
It's so Jake's collection is like watching The Sixth Sense for the first time.
Yes.
Where at the end you're like, this doesn't fit. Bam, he's been dead the
Take
whole
on me,
time.
he's been dead.
And that's the thing. So
I can scratch the itch with your collection with modern production guns. I can go get an SP5. I can get a little.
That's a
few-
transferable, son.
I understand, but I'm saying in terms of how
This is
I
it.
desire it, there's a market where I can like check those off the box at a much cheaper
I don't think he
cost.
understands
time.
that auto
I cannot
ordnance
go
makes
get
reproductions
something
of
that
his.
has the texture, the history,
Yeah,
the
actually,
story.
you can.
I
Yeah,
cannot
actually.
check your box with modern production things.
Yeah, you actually can.
You-
But
I can't change my vote. He can't change his vote. Unfortunately,
this is
a
a
tie.
bombshell. This is a bombshell.
Yes.
Why do we even do this?
I don't.
next?
No. I don't want this to end this way.
I don't
think you have a
that
choice.
This has to move to the comments. I think this is
Oh.
a scenario where people must chime in.
Yep.
There's some time.
No.
No. The problem is, if you go do this again, we're going to swap, and I have a feeling we're going to swap again.
My collection is clearly better. I mean,
It was
Clear.
until that surprise came. The surprise turn of a single action army and having it actually
only
fit.
because he doesn't know anything else about anything else. He picked the first old thing he knew something a little bit about.
Sorry, it works.
Ask him
Works
literally
for me.
anything about a single action army.
Guys, listen, you're going to jump into the comments. You're going to cast your vote. This will be hotly litigated. I mean, this is like you guys are now the judge and the jury of what you saw today, and you're going to pick a winner. That's it. Yeah. There's no other way.
Comment crispy is a FUD in the comments below.
Yeah, have fun with that. Guys, it's in your hands. I love you guys. You'll do the right thing. Goodbye. Don't listen to anything else he says. Goodbye. We'll see you next week.